Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today I have a tough fight ahead of me. The scenario was sent in by Mason Ruland, one of my naval architects. In case you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. A naval architect is one of my patrons which is capable of submitting a scenario. Every weekend I play 2 scenarios, Saturday and Sunday, and that way you can get your scenario featured on the channel. Now, the scenario is as follows. Not all naval heroes... Not all naval... Damn it. Not all naval heroes are captains of grand fleets. Sometimes it is the lower ranks and the Joes that get the job done. After joining the Royal Navy to defend your homeland like millions of your countrymen, you soon find yourself a commander of a warship, the HMS Quinn, which, not accidentally I suppose, is the name of my currently 7-month-old child. As the war progresses, you and your crew have had many daring escapes and glorious battles, but none of them can prepare you for what you're about to be facing. As part of a routine battleship escort, the largest smoke plume you have ever seen can be spotted on the horizon. The German superfleet, comprised of a huge number of state-of-the-art warships, can be seen charging towards you at full speed. Your fleet admiral gives the order for the fleet to move to battle positions as alarms ring throughout the ship. You look into the locket your wife gave you of your loving family back home, tuck it into your pocket, and man the bridge. Good luck, Commander. You're going to need it. Excellent story. Well done, Mason. Now, here's the drift, or here's the thing about this scenario. I have an older fleet, 1935 British versus 1940 Germany. Battleships were even. Battle cruisers, they have the advantage. Heavy cruisers, they have the advantage. Light cruisers were even. And destroyers, we have the advantage in numbers. But things are not as they appear. The only way to win the mission is to survive. If both your main and secondary towers are destroyed, you have been KIA and the mission ends, even if your ship is still afloat. You only control the HMS Quinn. Make your own squadron for that ship and set all other squadrons to AI control only. You cannot run away at the start and just have the AI fight for you. You must actively take part in the fight. I do get 1 reroll if I spawn with terrible AI ships, so that helps. Secondary objectives. Your battleship must survive. All enemy heavy cruisers and larger must be destroyed. Your ship stays above 34% structural. You get the killing blow on at least 2 non-destroyer warships, so light cruisers and up. If your fleet is destroyed, you must survive at least 4 hours or be farther than 30 kilometers from the nearest enemy warship to disengage. Okay, that is a lot of work for a heavy cruiser. That's a lot of work. Now, let's see. I can design the heavy cruiser. I have no bearing whatsoever upon the battleship, the battle cruiser, and the rest. That means I'm completely at the mercy of the AI in more ways than one. Because 1, they're going to have control over what they design, and 2, they're going to have actual tactical control over the ships in the battle, and I am only going to be in control of the Quinn, which is a stretch as it is in real life. Now, let's design. We're going to go with the large cruiser, 30,500 tons to 36,000 tons. Before I get to designing though, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. You might be thinking you're subscribed, but you might not be. It's a common occurrence, so please check the subscription status down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and you'd be really making me happy. Now, this is the Quinn. The Quinn is growing ever larger, 36,000 tons. Range is not important, survivability is critical. I'm gonna go with Diesel 2 this time, to do something a little different than usual. I'm going to go with induced boilers, auxiliary, and auxiliary. I'm thinking I don't need to be terribly quick, but I'm not really basing that on anything in particular. Because I don't know what the AI is going to design, of course. It could be something really good, it could be something really dreadful. I do get 1 reroll, but that reroll works both ways. I might get the reroll, and I might get better ships, but if the enemy then spawns in battle cruisers with 18-inch guns, well, I'm going to have all sorts of issues at that point. We're going to go with advanced hydraulic turrets, because the rest of them surely are faster. but that comes at the expense of more weight and a bigger flash fire chance. Reloaders, autoloaders preferably, and I'm thinking of going with a mix between a couple of main guns and torpedoes, because I am supposed to have an impact on both secondary, or on both destroyers, shall we say, and smaller stuff, and I feel the best way to do that would be to utilize torpedoes. Actually, let's place the funnel all the way back there, so we don't have too much smoke interference. I know that's not an actual thing, but I like to think that it is. Okay then, main guns. Wait. Wait. This is a battle cruiser. I'm building the wrong ship type. Okay, heavy cruiser. The battle cruiser is capable of sporting 18-inch guns. A heavy cruiser is not supposed to be able to do that. A heavy cruiser is limited to 11-inch guns. That's far more likely. Alright, once again, this is the Quinn. Speed, not too relevant. Bulkheads, yes. Diesels, oil, induced boilers, AUX, shaft, group, barbette, triple, anti-torp 2, citadel, anti-flood, all of it. You should know how much my kit vomits. We're definitely going to need an anti-flood. And drool too. Jesus. We frequently have a situation where the bibs keep getting flooded in real life. But that's a discussion for a different day. Main tower. Advanced tower 2. 2,900 tons? What am I getting for that? Some really good long-range accuracy. Okay. This one is 400 tons lighter. You're going to be reducing a bit. Aiming, yeah, everything's just worse. Okay. Secondary tower, 1,100 tons. That's 35. Yeah, it's 35 tons less. Plus 6 long-range accuracy. Really? I'll take it. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight. But maybe we can just about make it work. Alright, funnel, engine status, 100. That's the mega funnel 2. That's not quite it. Although this does save me a little bit of tonnage. If I go for forced boilers... Forced boilers are lighter? Wait. Look at this. The ship has a displacement of 14,863 tons currently. This one has a slightly higher hull weight and a slightly higher boiler weight. Okay. This one has a 57% buff / debuff, depending on how you want to call that, when it comes to weight of the funnel. So the funnel is going to go from 825 to 1,299, but the ship reduces in weight. I don't think that this is going to quite offset the difference. 15,785. That's 200 tons. Balanced. 15,6. 93% engine efficiency. I like that. It's not that I usually use the acceleration, but maybe I should. Maybe I should use the acceleration a bit more, just to throw off the enemy's aim. Okay, when it comes to guns... I'm thinking we're going to go for some pretty regular 8-inch guns. Oh, hold on. The 9-inch guns are Mark V. That means better specs on every front. It means better reload, it means better accuracy, basically better everything. Unfortunately, they're about 200 tons heavier than the 8-inch. If I would want to have an ABX format, this is 1,800 tons, which I can fit on the ship. I still have room for some secondaries, and I can still mount torpedo tubes. After all the crazy designs that I have used, I think it's only fair that I go for something a little bit more reasonable today. He said, and he put a barbette, or a turret on a super firing tall barbette. Nah, it's alright. It's alright. Okay, you sit over there. Is this one of those things where you can put another gun on top? It is. Okay. How big can we get that? Only 2-inch. Okay. We're going to go with 2-inch. I probably wouldn't want to be on that turret or on that 2-inch gun when the turret fires, considering that it's going to probably vibrate the whole thing. But okay. If it's possible, we'll do it. We're going to have to shift some weight behind. And torpedo tubes. Let's go with reasonable 21s and probably oxygens, because that way I have the most range. I currently have a range of 14.8. This is going to put me at 21.8. So I want torpedo tubes there and there. Error. Shoot. What? Okay. What does that mean? Does that mean like you... Oh! Right. Right. Work with me here. There we go. Right. No shoot error this time around. So I have 10 torpedo tubes per side. I have several reloads. These torpedoes are not terribly quick at 48 knots, but they are a little bit less visible. And that also means that I don't have to get too close to the enemy, which is nice. We're going to shift this turret back. And we're going to put that secondary gun back on. Yeah, I don't think so. That's going to interfere with that turret too much. I also want that over there. Here. Forward offset still 3.2. Does it mean I have to move it back even more? 1.4. Oh, this is... Well, you know what? The trade-off is it's probably a 360 turret. It can spin every which way. And that's going to allow for maneuvers to be more violent and more effective, hopefully. Now, 1,000 tons for secondary guns. What are we going to do with that? I quite like the look of the 5-inch duals. Unfortunately, they don't really want to sit where I want them to sit, which is over there. So we're going to go with 4-inch. Those were really light at 27 tons. Any other spot where the 5 can sit? Yeah, right, over there. I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't think we can mount these too much. Well, maybe a little. How about moving the whole secondary tower back? No, you get to sit. Move. Because by doing this, I might be opening up the room for a couple of 5-inch secondaries here. I can put them on barbettes. Is that required, however? If I put a 5-inch gun over there, the firing arc is okay. Now, if I do the same thing, but I put them on a barbette, what's going to happen? Not really much of an improvement. Okay. In that case, I want these 5-inchers out here with as good of a firing arc as we can get it. I still have quite a bit of displacement left, which is good, because I still have to do something about the amount of armor on this ship, especially considering that surviving is part of the requirement. Shift this thing forward a bit. There we go. Put the torpedoes back on. Some guns have poor field of fire. Are you going to highlight which ones? Oh, these. Curious. Can I put this on here? Yeah, but the firing arc... Oh, the game is slowing down a bit. The firing arc's still pretty dreadful. Because it's looking right at the main turret. And surprisingly, it's not capable of firing over the catapult launchers here. Or the cranes. So that means that this turret's basically useless. Okay. Some guns still have a port field of fire. Which one? This one's good, that one's good, torps are good, that gun's good. That gun's good. This gun's fine. You're good. You're good. I don't know what the problem is. Normally the game is quick to highlight, hey, this turret, not quite as I would like it. But it's not doing that. I'm a bit torn on these turrets. I'm not sure if they're going to be useful. In case you're wondering why the 4-inch guns, well, why not? It's something a little different from the usual... oh, sorry, why the duals, not the triples. I usually use triples because you put out more fire. The doubles, however, are slightly more accurate. But, of course, that comes at the volume of fire that they put out. So there is a trade-off, and you got some, shall I say, triple purists, you got some double purists in the comment section. I have to try and appease both, and I want to try and keep things interesting. Wait. That works? No, it does not. What are you talking about? Why would those have a poor firing angle? If I can put this thing over here, give it a bit more breathing room. That is better. Much better. Because now I have a pretty good firing arc. Oh, come on. This is going to allow at least 4 barrels of 5-inch on each side, plus the augment 4-inch. I will have to replace the torpedo launchers, and I probably have to shift this thing farther back to allow it to do a 360 again. Yeah, it can 360 over there. We're going to shift the weight a bit farther forward. Floor. Yeah, so move with the turret then. Some guns have a poor field of fire. Which one? Talk to me, game. What is the turret that you're unhappy with? I have to wait offset 2.5. 0.3, I'll take it. Now, this is probably going to be a prolonged fight. Considering what I'm fighting, I'm going to go for super heavy shells. Because they will have more of a penetration power and they will do more damage. The damage is currently 73.7. With heavy shells, it's 68.1. I'm hoping that it's just going to be that little bit of extra damage that I will need. Shell pen goes from plus 7.5% to 12.5%. It's not stellar, but it might just be enough. Now, as per the requirements, having conning tower armor is important, because if my conning tower gets blown off, I, as a character, get destroyed. I die. So we can't have that. Put 9 on the turrets, 4.5 on the secondaries. A bit more belt armor would be appreciated. Beautifully, you can put a lot of belt armor on these cruiser hulls. Go for 8.5 belts. Ah, come on. 5 belt extended. 16 inches on the conning tower. Turret top's too heavy. Okay, well this is it then. This is the Quinn. The Quinn can do 32 knots, which is not terribly quick for a cruiser, but it's reliable. We have a speed of, a gun power of 3 9-inch guns. So 3 triples. We have a few 2-inch guns, but more for decoration than anything else. We have 4-inch guns and 5-inch guns capable of harassing the destroyers and light cruisers. And we carry 10 torpedoes per launcher, and we carry 4 launchers, allowing us a torpedo range of 21.8. Will they hit? I don't think so, but they might be able to disperse the enemy and give my battleship, actually, a bit of an easier time. Here we go. Here's the lineup once again. Battleship, battlecruiser, 3 heavies, 5 lights, 6 destroyers, and I only get to control 1 heavy cruiser. The enemy, 1 battleship, 2 battlecruisers, 4 heavies, 5 lights, and 5 DDs. Now let's see what I have. I'm not going to look at what the enemy has. I don't want to cheat like that. I just want to see if my battleship and battlecruiser are okay. Standard complement of bulkheads, that's not terrible. 26 knots. Reasonable amount of armor. 16-inch guns. Firing cordite 1, okay. Battlecruiser, Enterprise. Few bulkheads, as battlecruisers do. Very fast, 37.5 knots. I actually have more belt armor than the battlecruiser does. 2 powder. Those are the heavy cruisers. The light cruisers, Bellona, Dragon, and Melbourne. Standards. Standard. Maximum on the DDs. Very good. What? Okay. The DDs have single torpedo launchers. 1 on each side. They're gunboat DDs, capable of doing 40 knots, so they're excellent at intercepting enemy destroyers. They're just terrible when it comes to dealing with enemy surface ships bigger than a destroyer, or maybe a light cruiser. Because those torpedoes, well, good luck trying to hit with 1 torp. Okay, here we go. I need to set all the AI control, or all the ships to AI control, with the exception of my ship. That is that heavy cruiser over there. We're going to detach the Quinn. That's the only player-controlled unit. The rest of them, AI. AI, AI, and AI. So, I have the Quinn. Let's play. I do not want to torp just yet. Let's see what the enemy has. Battleship, sporting 12 15-inch guns. We have 2 enemy battle cruisers which are sporting 13-inch guns. Could be worse. It's another distinctly German-looking battle cruiser. Then they have heavy cruisers packing 10 9-inch guns. This is what I assume to be a light cruiser. This is also a light cruiser, I think. They have them split up into 2 divs. That's a lot of secondaries. 33-inch guns, 10 7-inch guns. Visible torpedo launchers on stern, 2 sections. Alright, so how far away are you guys? I am going to take control of this ship. How far away are you guys? 15 kilometers out. My torpedoes can hit 21. That's one of their light cruisers. Would it be reasonable to throw out torpedoes against the battleship and see if it works? I carry 40 of them, might as well try. One of the heavy cruisers already inflicted some serious damage against their light cruiser, which is flooding pretty quick. Suggesting few or at least limited bulkheads on the enemy light cruisers. Torpedoes are aiming at the target, but since the target's heading away, it's not likely that we're going to be doing anything with them. So hold before I accidentally have them fire when it's not opportune. We're going to slow down to 26 knots, which is the same speed as the battleship. And we're going to do our part, as the name of the scenario is. Let's go to ×2. I want to be slugging the destroyers. No. My chance to hit's pretty bad. At 1.6. Ooh, something hit the battle cruiser. That's pretty bad news for the Enterprise, but fortunately she's not flooding. Otherwise it could have been a really quick fight for that battle cruiser, since she is so bad at countering flooding. Now I have a lot of stuff that I need to do. All enemy heavy cruisers and larger must be destroyed. Your ship must stay above 34% structural integrity. The friendly battleship must survive. You must get the killing blow on at least 2 non-destroyer ships. Okay. If your fleet is destroyed, you must survive at least 4 hours or greater, or be at greater than 30 kilometers from the nearest enemy warship to disengage. It's a whole shopping list of stuff that I need to do. I'm currently firing at this incoming light cruiser. The one that's already taken damage and flooding. Which I think it's not fixing. Was the compartment that badly damaged? Really? Possible. This turret's clipping through the other one. That's not right. Now, do I launch against the cruiser with my torps? Not too eager to do that. That's their battle cruiser. They're doing all sorts of fancy maneuvers, making them very unpredictable, so I don't know if this is going to be a good target. I don't think so. Although it is coming closer. Hey, hey, the Quinn did some damage. 102 damage against what I think is the light cruiser here. Now, is there anything in the way? Yes. Various destroyers are rushing forward. Most likely to their deaths. And that's preventing my ship from launching any torpedoes. Hold on, are you firing at me? You are. Turn. I will sort of stay with the formation as long as I can, reliably. Because staying with the herd is probably safer than leaving it. I just hope that the battleship is going to do something useful instead of just keep sniping from, what is that, 20 clicks? Yeah, 19 to 20 clicks. Against a target that is exceptionally mobile. Because I think they're targeting... What are you targeting, actually? The heavy cruiser? You might be able to see the line, but for me it's pretty light in the room, and I'm already colorblind as is. So I'm having trouble spotting what my battleship is shooting at. So you might be able to see that red dotted line. I am not. We had the Nith just pass behind the Quinn. Dragon, Searcher, Melbourne, Town Class. Town Class. At least name it after a town, don't call it the Town Class. It was called the Town Class, or rather there was a light cruiser class that was named after towns. But they usually actually had the name of a town instead of being called Town Class. Anyway, damage so far seems to be pretty good. We have done 490 points of damage. I think mostly against this light cruiser. And there's another hit. The enemy has not been so lucky. But that can change pretty quickly. Oh, it's the Quinn that inflicted the other hit. Identification 91%. Soon we'll be able to tell how many bulkheads this thing has. Flooding. Might be able to take out a light cruiser soon. The thing is, it's going to be pretty hard for me to register if I deliver the killing blow. I don't quite know how to tell that. Because it's not like you can see this ship killed that ship. It just says you did this much damage, not you sunk that many ships. Alright, light cruiser Bassar. Many bulkheads? That could have fooled me. I went with increased ammo, right? No, standard. Great. Battle cruisers are once again running away. Minimum bulkheads on the battle cruisers. Ooh, that's tempting. That's a torpedo target right there. But they're doing 32 knots in the opposite direction. Where the hell is my battle cruiser even going? 0.2%? Save ammo. I might need that later. I first want to see what the AI is going to do with the rest of my fleet. And I mean my AI. Because my chance to hit is not great. Sure, I've inflicted some damage. But there are a lot of German ships around. They have a tech advantage, they have a numerical advantage. I'd rather save my shells. And I really need my battleship to start doing something useful. They haven't hit once. The battlecruiser has been hit once, but hasn't done anything. The rest of the heavy cruisers, they're all sitting on their ass. Not doing much of anything. The DDs? Like a bunch of angry hornets down there. What are you guys up to? Normally I'd say they're in either the scout formation or the shielding, screening. But screening means that they're closer. I think the AI is just kind of loitering them. Oh, they've taken an interest in me. Time to speed up. Have we been hit? Yeah, one ricochet. Please don't tell me this is going to be a battle where my fleet just ends up running away the whole time. They lost sight of the Quinn. Okay. Very good. Unfortunately, we're both heading away from each other at maximum speed. So at this rate, neither party is going to be doing much damage. That is very unsatisfying for a battle. And pretty terrible for a video. What I don't understand about the game is that the devs keep saying, yeah, we're gonna, at least in the recent patch notes, we made the AI behave more aggressively. Right. I'm not seeing it. Some damage on the sightlets. Mostly a lucky hit from Centurion. Now, I tend to do stupid shit with my ships, but I am not going to send in my one heavy cruiser against the entirety of that group. Not to try and get torps off. Hold on, are you guys coming in? Yeah, the Guben is coming in. My concern, however, is that either my battleship or my battle cruiser is going to be too far away to be effective, and thereby spend all of its ammunition when its chance to hit is terrible. Like the Enterprise over here. She's on the far edge of the formation. She's 33 kilometers out from the nearest target. She only has a range of 26. So as much as I would like to be doing my part, I don't really know how to. Looks like the Lafori is having a really, really wet experience. It's only the maximum bulkheads that are keeping this thing together. And with that disastrous level of damage, I don't think she's coming back from this. 2 damaged engines. Auxiliary 3, though. She might be able to pump out some of the water, but I think these compartments are too heavily damaged. So it's not likely that we're going to see a complete refloating of that ship. Jeez, the battleship has just completely lost line of sight to everything. It just stopped shooting altogether. 13-inch from the battlecruiser. Yeah, hits the Lafori again. So, that is the first ship sunk, courtesy of the Germans. Really, Centurion? There's just a grand act of cowardice over here. Look at this, the battlecruiser's heading away, the battleship's running away. The heavy cruisers, Bacante and Achilles, are just moving in a straight line. And then we get the Sapphire, Melbourne, Town Class, and Dragon. Let me guess. 14 knots, 19 knots, 28 knots. Yeah, one of you guys is doing something silly. Town Class. Sapphire doing 27, and the Town Class doing 17. I'm going to intervene a little bit and set these guys to normal formation, because that sometimes just jolts them out of their stupor and makes sure that these speed up. Yeah, the town class is now speeding up. I know I'm not supposed to control the light or the cruisers in general, any other ships that bought the Quinn. But the way that these guys are forming up is nonsense. Why are they all... What? Okay. All of a sudden, everybody's turning back in. What the hell? Let's go to times 10. Where are you going? Enterprise and Centurion heading full speed to east. Confusion galore. Okay, what are you guys planning? Neither party has vision of the other. Seriously, the Enterprise is dashing ahead. 36.7 knots. This thing is going to dash itself right to death. Because it's probably going to run headfirst into the enemy, get a couple of hits on it, and get blown up. Oh, we spotted a destroyer. Range 22 kilometers. So naturally, naturally Centurion and Enterprise immediately go, oh, that one's mine. Kill it. With 15-inch guns. Chance to hit? Pretty non-existent. We don't care. We have something to shoot at. We're going to shoot it. Oh, buddy. And suddenly they're turning starboard again. It's like these guys go, oh, no, 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 no. It's a destroyer. Run! Well, they definitely did a number on that, but that's courtesy of the light cruiser. That is not the battleship's doing. Ooh. Pretty good. Return to flagship. What is the flagship, actually? Am I the flagship? No. I suppose that the battleship's the flagship. Yeah. I wasn't sure about this. Sometimes it's the ship that I create. But this time around, it's the battleship. Look at that. That destroyer is far more capable of refloating itself. Because it probably wasn't as heavily damaged. It is interesting to see what the AI is doing. It's boring, but at the same time, it's actually interesting to see how the AI works. Like, what are they doing? And it seems very, very random. The one moment they move in, and the next moment they go, oh, shit, 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 that's a destroyer, and they run away. Even though the destroyer is 20 kilometers out. Here, we lost targets, and Centurion and Enterprise immediately make a poor turn trying to close the distance again. I already foresee this turning into a really long video again. Once again, we spotted their destroyers. Now, I know I'm giving my British fleets, or my British fleet, some shit about not being able to push in, or not daring to push in. But it goes just as well for the Germans. Because all they seem to be having on the front line is the V1. And the rest of its destroyer squadron. The rest of it, I don't know, I haven't seen it for a while. By the way, if you are new to the game, you want to take a screenshot, Control-Alt-Shift-Z hides your HUD. And then press F11, that's Fox 11, to make a screenshot. Also, I keep getting comments saying that the game is not available. It is. You just don't get it through Steam at the moment. You can, however, get it through their website. Linked down below in the description, you can get the game. I am not part of some special YouTuber content creator program. You can get the game and play it for yourself. Warts included, as they say, because there are some bugs. Notably with the formation. I'm not sure if these destroyers are... Yeah, we got breeding destroyers. This I'm not even sure what this is. How are you so clipped into each other? No, that's not clipping, that's mounting. And it's not just this one. Guys? What are you doing? There could be children watching. I know that they're doing it under the cover of smoke. I mean, at least they're polite enough to not get a room, but at least set up a smoke screen. Or maybe it's getting hot and steamy and that's causing the smoke. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot of nonsense. I have to try and keep this video interesting somehow. Because overall, not much is happening. V1, range 17 clicks. My range 20 clicks, but the accuracy is probably not notable. 5-inch guns, 12-kilometer range. You know what? Screw it. We're going to try and nail that destroyer. It's not part of a mission objective, but... oh. I kind of want to see what the AI, my AI, does when that ship is destroyed. Centurion's already down to 800 shells. Just killing a destroyer. Quinn spotted something. I think that's the rest of their destroyer group. And this guy, the V1, got so badly flooded that it's not capable of keeping up with the rest. Range 14 clicks. Set a target. I'm not going to waste a lot of ammo on this thing. I have my gun set to save. I know I'm in range. But there are bigger fish that will need the 9-inch guns. So you know we're just going to turn those off altogether. Let the 5-inch guns do it. Range 12.3. I am removing myself quite far from the rest of the fleet. But I hope that sooner rather than later we're going to reacquire the German fleet. The main fleet, the battleships and the battlecruiser. And start to take those guys down. I do have to keep an eye on the German torpedo launchers. 21-kilometer range. What's your excuse for not launching those? None. Alright, secondaries. This one's all yours. If I can pick off this destroyer and make the rest of my fleet a bit safer, perfect. Because I'm trying to take a sort of calculated risk. Is there a chance that I'm going to get blown up by any of the battle cruisers or the battleship? If not, good. Push in. Whoa! V1 just ran out of torps. Guess what they're launching at? Me. CA just ran out of torps. Uh-huh. I think it's time for the Quinn to start changing course before this thing gets torped. Where are those things? Unknown. I haven't spotted them yet. At least we took out the V1. Ah. Bigger stuff. Hello. Heavy cruiser class. Or no, this is a light. It's one of their lights. Okay. How far am I from the rest of the fleet? About 10 kilometers? 17 kilometers from the battleship. Okay. I spotted something. I think I might be the one that's spotting that ship over there. Enterprise, 0.3%. Well done. That's the Torpedo Salvo from the V1, the one that we killed. There's the V3. I was heading more or less that way when the V3 launched. So I can just head that way again and see if I can intercept it. The problem, however, is that it might be too fast. What sort of speed are you moving at? 18 knots? Okay, never mind. We can get that. There's the Torpedo Salvo. So you guys are probably not sporting a reload then. Reduced amount of torps. Which, under the new patch, Alpha 11.8.4, you do not get a reload. It's a one and done. You send them out, you're screwed. At least if you're a destroyer. How about these guys? Standard complement of torpedoes. Very good. Ah, there's the heavy cruisers. Jesus, they're far away. 38 kilometers? Okay. The battlecruiser side leads has been spotted by the Enterprise. They spotted something else. I'm concerned, however, that that's going to work both ways. And that potentially sooner rather than later, we're going to see that the battlecruiser will start taking damage. Speaking of, what are you? Light cruiser class. Okay, we're going to take down this destroyer. But I'm also going to start turning into the light cruiser. I need to sink... what was it? I need to get the killing blow on at least 2 non-destroyer warships. Here's one. And if my estimation of the situation is accurate, it's alone. Because it might be suffering from the formation slowness bug, for lack of a better term. So I should be able to push into it, wait out its smoke screen, set the main guns on the target. If you hover over the target, bottom right hand side, you can see what you need to click, what combination of keys in order to set your main guns, which is Control, Shift, Alt, right click, main guns. And that way I'm able to engage the V3 with my secondaries, not terribly accurately yet, and set the main guns against the destroyer, against the light cruiser Stralsund. Fire when ready. Melbourne sinks due to heavy flooding. That is unfortunate for the Melbourne. At least the Quinn might be able to do some damage here. Finally using the 9-inch guns in anger, and immediately striking a hit on the Stralsund. Which is distinctly un-German. It's more Danish, at least. It's my expectation of it. Now this light cruiser does pack quite a few torpedoes. So it's going to be careful. Or at least I have to be careful not to get hit by those. Pen chance is going down. Still, it's 65%. It should be enough. There's the torps. Stralsund, many bulkheads. Not terribly likely to flood that thing out. Range, 8.5 clicks. Chance to pen, 64%. Chance to pen in reverse, 6%. I think I'm on the better side of this deal. Yep, flooding again. Not gonna lie, I quite like this cruiser design that I made. I'm quite satisfied. It performs well. At least against lighter cruisers, of course. Destroyers also seem to succumb to the 5 and the 4-inch guns. I have good firing arcs on all the guns, and I have torpedoes for bigger threats. And it doesn't look ridiculous, like the battleship that I created for Taskmaster Tuesday, which had something in the range of, what was it, 30 5-inch guns, or 30 8-inch guns? It was something ridiculous anyway. More flooding on Stralsund. Another 123-point hit. The Stralsund is flooded. Terribly slow. 2 damaged engines. No torpedoes to speak of. Bow and stern launchers are ready, but unable to fire because of the angle. Overall damage done. 2,200 by allies, 3,400 by the enemy. Of that 2,200, the Quinn did 1,000. Impressive. Fire. The V3 is not taking any hits, is it? More hits. Stralsund, however, refloating. Buoyancy going back up. Time to start taking things a bit more seriously. Fire high explosive. Because with a cruiser hull that weak, high explosive can rip it to pieces. Oh, you're smoking up. That's what you're doing. Wait, what? It sounded like a torp hit. Was it? Still, smoking up, but 10% chance to hit. Flooding. That thing is seriously damaged. The V3. What is your speed? 17 knots. Okay. I'll take it. Rest of the fleet, it's not doing that well, I think. The Enterprise is okay. Centurion's okay. But I'm not really getting the impression that we've done a lot of damage to the Germans. Sightlitz is still perfectly healthy. Not much is happening here. Come on, finish the Stralsund. V3 dead. Okay, that's the second kill for the Quinn, but it's not a mission objective. All enemy heavy cruisers and larger must be destroyed. We have not made any start with that yet. Haven't even begun. So yes, this is going to definitely turn into a really, really long video. And I don't really want to cut any part out. I'm going to tell the whole story of this ship. I'm down to 567 shells, 558. There we go, target down. Alright, who's next? So that is one of my light cruisers sunk, or one of my objectives. We must get the killing blow on at least 2 non-destroyer ships. So that's 50% done. Ceasefire. Let's try and rejoin the rest of the fleet. What we got back here? Oh, another light cruiser. Oh, in that case. How fast are you? Unknown. I haven't identified you yet. We can still do 32 knots because we barely took a scratch. Main tower has been somewhat scratched, but that's about it. It hasn't been destroyed. Centurion still has ammo. Enterprise still has ammo. What are you guys doing? "38 kilometers out. It's basically useless. I'm going to close in on the light cruiser and move my way, or make my way to a better accuracy level. Currently it's 2%. Whoa. Slam on the brakes. Seriously? Oh. That was a little closer than I would like. That was the parting gift from that light cruiser. I didn't catch that torpedo launch. I wasn't expecting it either. Full ahead flank. Acceleration's good on this thing. Really good. So I continue to close the distance here. Times 5. Speed this thing up. 15.5. 15.4. Are you done vaping? Nope. Still going. The AI on this game seriously needs work. I like the game, but the AI needs work to make it interesting. Because normally, I control all the ships, and when I don't, you get this sort of non-battle. This thing has been going for 2 hours of in-game time, but not much has happened. And of the 5,000 damage done, 3,000 damage was my ship. So that's how much of a player impact you can have. Accuracy 3.5%. How close is the Sightlitz? 21 clicks. Huh. And they are targeting my ship. Accuracy, not good. Generation 2 radar, stereoscopic 4, 22-inch torpedoes. Okay. Not terribly concerned. Ah, light cruiser München. 18 knots. Maintain zigzag pattern. Accuracy 0.8. Rate of fire 1.57 rounds a minute. Right. Accuracy 3.7. 3.6 we're dropping. Turn back to port. Range 12. Fire. Because I think we can do better than that. Ow. Fire. Still 3%. See, this is something that the battleship and the battlecruiser need to be taking out, not me pushing into it. And more importantly, that 13-inch gun can do some serious damage against my deck plating. Or maybe the distinct lack of deck plating at this point. Smoking up again. You're not even shooting anymore. What's your status? Enterprise range is 40 kilometers. 38. You know what? It's time for some divine intervention. The battleship. I'm going to take control of this thing. And you too. I'm going to turn you directly towards the enemy. When you get to about 20 kilometer range, I'm going to hand off control to the AI again. Because at this rate, we're not going to have any kind of damage. 10 kilometer range. 9.8. Accuracy 5%. 4-inch guns are opening up. Oh, you just torped me. 5.4, 4.9. It's my own maneuver. There we go. Immediately hitting. Very good. Flooding. Turn back to port. Keep throwing off the firing solution at the side leads. Because that thing doesn't need to get terribly lucky to hit me and do a lot of damage in the process. München slowing down to 17 knots. It is interesting, this scenario, just controlling only one ship instead of the rest of the fleet, but it does show how important it is to have player control over the rest of the fleet. Because with my ships under AI control, nothing happens. The enemy doesn't push in, my ships don't push in. Basically nobody moves. Wow, München fixed itself really quickly. Status on the Enterprise. "32 kilometers out. Range 7 kilometers. I'm holding fire because I don't have that much ammunition left. Side leads continues to empty her magazines onto the attempts to hit this ship. Damage my torpedo launcher. 7 kilometer range. She's about to launch torpedoes again. Fire. Not that I can sink her before she launches, but I'm going to try and do some damage at this point. She's done smoking. So now we have an excellent opportunity to do some damage. Is that stern turret indeed a 360? Yes, it is. Okay, so we don't have to do the whole loop around the ship. That's good. Fire high explosive. The reason for that is that the ricochet angle is really high, and I don't want that. I don't want to be ricocheting the few shells that I still have left. So I'm hoping that high explosive is going to do some damage, and then I can push in, switch back to armor piercing, get a good angle, do some damage. Damage to the main tower on my ship. There we go. Fire on the München. More fire. There's a bit of a cross-eyed shell. There we are. Engine 1 damaged. München 18 knots. Slowing down. Ricochet angle. Still high. 81 degrees. Not good enough. 14 knots on the München. Super heavy high explosive shells definitely doing their work. Buoyancy down to 18%, speed 8 knots. Chance to pen consistently dropping. And getting closer. Their chance? Probably not great either. One thing I'm kind of worried about though is torpedoes. I'm not sure when that quintuple launcher was employed. Good. Is that going to kill it? It might. But I think we just hit a compartment that was already flooded. At least that thing's not going anywhere. 10 knots. If that. No. It's slowing down again. My ammunition supply is a real concern though. By the way, what's the Enterprise up to? Not much. What if I give them control again? They're... Watch this. Centurion's going starboard and the Enterprise going port. Okay. There we go. München sinks due to heavy flooding. And there's the torpedo. It's only a single one. Because the rest of them was, I think, launched quite a while ago. So this is the stern launcher. That single tube. Now, I don't think that this battle is actually going to go anywhere. When it comes to objectives, I don't think it's going to happen without turning this video into a 2-hour Enterprise, which I'm not going to do. It's really interesting to be controlling just one ship. It would be far more entertaining if the AI actually did something useful instead of running away. And that goes for both my fleet and the enemy. So I'll definitely be sending this video in for review by the developers. Because both my ships and their ships running away leads to a really, really boring battle. In a way, I'd say I did my part. Out of the 6,600 damage that was done, I did 4,500, almost 4,600. So I had a pretty big impact on the amount of damage that was done. And they just kept running. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle nonetheless. I do find it interesting, but we need a battler AI control. Because this is just a bit boring. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for another video.